The South African National Defence Force says the first group of soldiers deployed to the eastern DRC are due to now return home tomorrow. They were part of a SADC mission to combat the M23 rebels who are causing violence in the region. The mission was called off after a ceasefire was agreed upon to allow for political talks to resolve the security situation. Newzroom Afrika's Scara Mafokoane is following these developments for us in Mangaung. The troops are due to be landing there tomorrow. Scara, good afternoon to you. It's been a strange story about these troops. What are we expecting to happen tomorrow?
Good afternoon to you, Stephen, and our viewers. It has been indeed, but it's also been a long wait for them to come back. We know that phased withdrawal from the DRC started in April, and the first contingent will be landing here in Bloemfontein tomorrow. What we do expect is that upon landing at 12 o'clock, we're told, they will be welcomed by the Minister of Defense and Jimutsecha alongside the Defense Command Council. That's going to happen around 2 o'clock here in Bloemfontein at the Tembe military base. But importantly, Stephen, is what's going to happen to those soldiers when they land. You know, they're not going to be integrated back into society yet. So what we do expect is that they're going to go through a demobilization period whereby they are going to meet with social workers and assess them. We know that, of course, they were in a war zone. So some of those issues, they need to talk about them before they're integrated back into society. And that leads me, Stephen, to a conversation that I'm going to have right now with someone who was in the military before as a social worker and now is in academia, somebody who knows about these issues. And she talks to me. Her name is Christine Gateskill. You are now with the University of the Free State Social Work Department. Talk to me about what the process of the debriefing, the demobilization, what that would involve.
Well, the process, I mean, it's not just a one-day, debriefing. Obviously, when they come back, we will have to remember that, I mean, they went through traumas. Their families are here. Their families do have certain expectations. They do have certain expectations. And of course, we know that they were there for quite a while, that they didn't really do anything. The debriefing on itself is they must just remember that what they're going through is normal, to normalize the situation. And then, of course, then also to work through certain things that they experience on the other side, because there was deaths and they had a lot of other couple of challenges when they were actually staying there. Coming back home, it's always this idea of I'm going back to reality, but reality is not always that good. Reality is not always euphoria. Reality is sometimes coming back to a family that does not know you anymore, because maybe some of the children were very small when the father left. And then another thing is that, I mean, they've been away from each other, the husband and the wife. The husband was there for a couple of years. The wife was here on her own with the children. The role expectations is different. It's different. The roles are different. I mean, while they were there and when they come back, they have to adapt to all of this.
I want to touch on that subject about expectations. How best can both the soldier returning and their families or loved ones manage it? How do you manage the expectations?
You know, that's a bit of a tricky question, in the sense of that they have this expectation of coming home. I'm going back to my loving wife with my kids. The wife and the children maybe on the other side is expecting their father coming back, and he must be the hero now, and he must come and have the role of the head of the house. And unfortunately, some of your families on this side that's at home changed while the husband was not there, or the soldier was in combat, or on the other side where he actually worked. Then, I mean, for them to actually just get someone back into the family structure and to see him again as the head of the house it's not just going to be a normal process of just today it was like this and the next day it had to change to the other expectations that they had. For them, for the family, it's going to be an adaptation, and it's going to be for this soldier coming back. The emotional part of it, I think, is at this stage so important, and just to try and get themselves again into a normal functioning system is going to take time.
Then just lastly, there's also the stigmatization part of it. Some may feel, due to stigma, they wouldn't want to speak. How, from a professional point of view, how do you encourage them to open up? Because it's also, you're also guided as a social worker or a therapist on what they tell you. How do you help assist them to speak more, to be open more?
Like I said in the beginning, I think for them to know that the feelings that I do experience is normal. You're just a human being. You can't expect that everything must just, you can't forget just overnight what happened and what you've experienced in 2 years' time. Impossible. So I think for the stigmatization, it is really something that, we have this thing in, it's not just in South Africa, it's globally, it's men don't cry, boys don't cry. So for them to realize, but I mean, if I'm not going to talk about this, if I'm not going to use the resources, and trying to get over this and trying to work through all my traumas that I went through, you actually is going to shoot yourself in the foot, to actually use that metaphor now, is that you have to talk about it, otherwise you're going to carry this with you, and you will really battle to have a normal life again after this.
So certainly still a long way, for healing, if I should put it that way.
Yes, definitely. That's definitely, it's going to be a process, and I really hope this guys is going to use what they have to actually help them to get through this, the therapy that they can get. They must go out and really, at the end, if you're going to ask for help, you are the strong one. The ones that's not going for help, it's actually the ones that's losing. Because you are taking this on yourself, but you're also going to affect your family, your children, and everyone around you. So rather than to go for that and be a man and go for the therapy.
Would you say the families as well need the therapy?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, a lot of things happened while they were there. So they sit with everyday things. They sit with, school problems maybe, or children that maybe had difficulty with bullying or anything. So now these things are still going on. That's not going to disappear when Daddy is coming back. But now we have to introduce almost a new character in this family. So the family on itself, they definitely need therapy.
Christina, thank you so much for your time. There you have it, Stephen. Much as the heroes and heroines of the SADC will be welcomed here tomorrow, there's still that mammoth task, the path that they need to walk, before they're reintegrated back with their families and into society. But as Christina tells us, it is warranted. It is supposed to happen like that, and also from the family side, the expectations as well, to manage them well, on this path of healing. Stephen.
Scara, Mafokoane, thanks very much indeed. Live for you from Mangaung, part of our team, of course, preparing for the troops to come back tomorrow.